Good evening, Gooners. Welcome back to the Gooner Booth. What a weekend we've had. Look, it's the Champions League preview. Second leg, it's 1-1, in case we live under a rock. Excuse me. Massive game. Please smash the like button, get involved in the comments, and subscribe. Much appreciated, guys. We're 835 subscribers. That is absolutely nuts. We weren't expecting that when we first started this. So we are very, very thankful, and thank you for joining the Gooner Booth community. Let's continue to grow. Wayne, good evening, sir. Thank you for filling in.
Yeah. How you doing, mate? Yeah, that's all right, matey. I know he's a busy man. It was it's a long day that day, and yeah, I'm still recovering. I think every time I go to the Emirates, I get a sore throat and start getting cold symptoms.
But as well, yeah.
What a
game to be at.
What a game to see that. Yeah, I know, to see Max Dowman's sort of like first goal. I mean, there's a lot of things on Twitter, but these are other people saying about that Liverpool guy I see today, their winger. And it's like people are not getting that what that kid done was basically, the ball's broken free. He took two players on, left them on the floor, and run the ball in the back of the net. You know what I mean? And to see that as well, he's coming towards us, and you're just thinking, all he was hoping for is just put it in, boy, just put it in, for God's sake. But he did, and pandemonium. Obviously, I tried to. It's quite a tiring day. So on that video, I was trying to say, there was grown men and women and everything just jumping up and down, and I must have my mate Kev, who obviously surprised the other season ticket, might have hurt his shoulders a few times, but it was a phenomenal game. At the end, frustrating for the 88 minutes prior, but there's like as you like, obviously I don't know if we've got a jazz film on yet, Tone, but what you were saying about touches with Eza, looking back at it, you could see that the boy was getting on the ball more, as opposed to trying to shove it, picking the ball up. And obviously he changed the system when he took off Supermendy and put Dalman on, and he obviously, Declan Rice was the lone six, and Eza was there. I would have liked to have seen Havertz and Jock link up in that game, dude, but it is what it is, matey. But yeah, listen, it ended brilliantly. No, he doesn't seem to want to do it again at the moment, but I think at some point it has to be the norm. Obviously, as well, I think Noni had a decent game. Saka, again, he's quite frustrating at this moment in time, but we're not a channel, me and you definitely are not, to ripping into Saka, but you have to be objective. When we've on this channel said about earlier in the summer with like Trossard and Martinelli, if players are not playing well, you're gonna go, look, we want you to play well, we support you, but we want more from you. There's nothing wrong with that. We're not going to be a channel that's going to be negatively promoting stuff like that, like certain channels I won't mention, but you're welcome to have an opinion. And I think at this moment in time, I think he's very much a boy who, if he was to explode, Tone, this season would, ignite. You know what I mean? Because if Eza starts to explode, and you got Saka exploding, you know what I mean? It's that form. He's not quite hit any height or any consistent form. So why I'm waffling on about that is because obviously I think it was quite unfair that Noni came off, is what I was trying to, the long short of it, But listen, it was, in the end, Tone, it ended well, So look, we've got to keep going. Another 7 games, but we can close this out, dude. We need to close this out because we've got the job done in the last few games that people thought we might drop points in. So yeah, vitally important, mate.
Yeah, and it was one of them games where we had to do our job, right? It was the first time in weeks that we played before City did, and it was one of them games where I managed to catch it. I was watching it in the bar where I was, and we weren't playing well. One thing that is worrying me at the moment, we aren't playing very well. And look, it took a Pickford. What the hell was Pickford doing for that first goal? I don't know, and it worries me that the guy's going to the England World Cup. Do you know what I mean? And he's a Malcolm. Good evening, sir. All right, lads. Fair play. I got dunked by a 16-year-old.
Yeah, listen. Good evening, Malcolm. And I was obviously at the game as well, like yourself.
Everton played well, Wayne.
Listen, I know. We don't want to be cliche, mate, but listen, we appreciate you always joining and commenting on this channel anyway, mate. But I'd like to say, fair play to Moisey, because up to 88 minutes, he his game plan was a good one. And listen, I like him. I like Moisey, and I think obviously you boys have done well to bring him back in personally. But yeah, listen, it was one of them, mate. Look, Pickford is that, like someone was saying, Pickford is that kind of keeper tone that he likes to be proactive. I think he's a little bit too excitable there. But the ball as well, Tone, is a
Great ball
difficult one
from
for any
Bauman.
goalkeeper. It's a difficult one. So, and as I said on the stream, I think as well, with a 16-year-old kiddie, he's pulling you out of it. I mean, if Malcolm is still on and he's still listening, Wayne Rooney did it to us, didn't he? And he annihilated my favourite goalkeeper with an absolute stormer in David Seaman for his debut goal and the whole Premier League. Well. It scarred me for a while, but he was a phenomenal player until he done his thing. But it's nice to see a player like Bauman come on now, and and play and do that. I think obviously the lad's got something special, and we have to harness that. But listen, a 16-year-old could have ignited our title challenge properly, Tone. And it's now time to just stay humble, take it game by game, keep doing what we got to do. And that's starting tomorrow night against the Leverkusen, mate. They showed you their no mugs at their ground. I think we're more than capable. But I want that's like I was talking to Kev, and I'll pass it back to you, mate. But Sunday is also vital. So we have to play the right formation, the right team tomorrow night to get the job done. Get out of there, Tone. Rest up, because Sunday, in my opinion, is a vital game, mate. We have to bring that trophy home. They have to win together, this team. And possibilities could be endless, mate.
Yeah, look, I'll ask this to the chat and yourself, Wayne. Obviously we've got one over the line with Everton, right? These next 3 games, so the next 2 games coming up, would you agree that they're season defining for us?
Sorry, Tone. I was just reading Malcolm's comment there. Say again, sorry,
after
mate.
Gyökeres scored, we were fight each other at the away end.
I saw that, mate. I don't know. I'm sorry, Tone. Quickly, I will answer your question.
I didn't see it.
I think someone has said, Malcolm, online, that some Everton fan got some Arsenal supporting friends a ticket in the away end, so they were amongst the Everton fans. What I'd like to say, obviously, mate, is obviously they are their own people. We're not all like that. Should be no beef with Everton. I just think that what I heard was that, and I'm sorry to hear that, my friend. I did read that afterwards. It's not really, you go to an away game. It's a tough away game, obviously, for you. People have travelled a long way, Tone. So that's one thing you don't want to be doing, is fighting amongst yourselves. But that's what I heard, whether that's true or not. But yeah, listen, it's sorry it happened, mate. It's just one of them things, unfortunately. But you don't really want to travel all that way, start fighting your own supporters or people within that end. They shouldn't be anywhere near,
That's the thing, though, Wayne. Tickets are so hard to get now. People are desperate now. I mean, I dread to think what.
Of course, mate.
The tickets now. They must be making a killing for the ballots that are coming up. I've stopped joining because I've no luck, mate. But you have to pay like £1, didn't you, to get into a ballot?
Another thing I was having a moan at, Bone. Sorry, mate, just interject, but I want to put this sign to you as well. What is it, about? I think it's 36 or 38 quid for a red level member ticket.
Yeah.
Right, so I pay that. So say for argument's I'm paying 38 quid, 36, 38 quid. Right, or it could have been 40, Tone. It just comes out I've not changed it because I want to keep the ticket, because that means I can go see the Arsenal like I did on Saturday. Sorry. Let me put that to you. It's not fair that you pay for that yearly card, that yearly membership, and they want to charge you £1. So you yourself, right? How many home games we have? 20 plus cup games, maybe 25 to 30. Yeah. 19 Premier League games, and maybe 25, 30 cup and cup games, Champions League game, whatever it might be. You put £1 in and go to you pay for every single game. You're paying for 38, 40 quid, whatever it might be, and then you're paying another 20 odd quid to not even get a ticket, and get maybe one. Like, that red level membership, or that membership you have, Bones, should entitle you to go into and do what you used to do for us, where you'd go on, you'd be at work, and anyone watching, he did do his work, by the way, but he used to go on at 9 o'clock and
different company,
and you got us tickets, didn't you? You say, Wayne, I've got them. boom, and you had my thing. Why we can't do that now, Tone? How fair is that to charge members to enter a ballot you're not even guaranteed to get anything out of?
Yeah, but you get season ticket holders that will go to 5 games a year, the biggest games, then give their tickets to their mates for the rest of the season.
Yeah, they just go to the big ones, and of course they do, mate. Yeah, of course they do.
Yeah. Well, put it this way, right? So I've just had a think, right? So if you put a quid in, we'll get onto the Leverkusen game in a minute. So we've completely gone off the scale here. If you put a pound in, say there's like 250,000 red members that will go on a ballot that's 250 grand they're making from people just entering.
From people just entering a ballot and not guaranteed to get anything from it. And of course, if those 200 out of them 250,000 and 1,000 get it, that's still 249,000 they're making. Plus, then them thousand people that's got through the ballot. Well, then it's just obviously you're making maths up, but it starts to get they're going to pay. They're going to be paying tickets. They're going to do whatever. I just don't agree. I don't agree with you having to enter a ballot. I've never have, and that's the thing. I've obviously with a guy at work, Tone, means I've not entered a single ballot of Arsenal. For the simple reason that if there's one of them can't make it, I'll go. But I'm not. Why am I paying? Why do I have to pay to enter a ballot that I'm not guaranteed to get a ticket? When you could be for years on years, the system wasn't broke. You'd go on ticket exchange if you couldn't get through, and they would tell you the specific times that they would go on to sell, and it's like silver members. Got family enclosure, got like red member, this is your time. And that's when you used to jump on for us. Or even I would jump on and have a look and go whenever you couldn't do it. It's just silly, mate. And it's, but it's off topic of what we're saying, but I still think it's a valid thing. We love this football club, but you're taking the piss out of fans, telling them to pay a pound to enter a ballot they're not guaranteed, in my opinion. I think that's one thing I don't agree with Arsenal Football Club is charging your fans that.
Yeah. Anyway, back onto the game. I mean,
we'll get back to it, but yeah.
one thing that we'll get onto your starting 11 shortly, Wayne, but I think Darwin has to start. I'm sorry, the performance he come on and had, the confidence is flying. Saka hasn't been great. Now, do you look at this game and go, right, though it was a big game, he's 16, but he's proven that he don't care. He's got no fear. The occasion doesn't. He's come on in the last 15 minutes for a game where we have to win it, right? With our to extend our thing at the top to win the title. He's come on, had the performance that he's had. I'd fire him in, Wayne. I'm sorry, I'd fire him in.
My worry is has he got school on Wednesday morning, son? He's that young. Well, can you remember what you was doing at 16 years old? I mean, the boy's living the dream.
He's on cloud 9. But why not throw him in there? Fire him in
there. What? I think
you're not going to play him in the cup final. Oh yeah,
yeah. I see what you're saying. I think he's. Yeah, I see what you're saying. 100% Tone. I think what it is he's got to manage that in a certain way, but also as well you can't kind of hold a boy back who could sort of have the world at his feet.
If you're old enough, you're good enough. Flying. If you're old enough, you're good enough. He's proven it enough. He's got no fear. He's not phased by it. Every game that I've seen that boy play. He is not phased by anything. Fire him in.
Yeah.
He's played in the Champions League before. It's a big game. I'll even people probably argue this, but I think Saka's questionable at the moment for me, and he was shocking away at Leverkusen. He was shocking. Do you fire him back in? Or do
to be fair, mate? Yeah. Listen, as I say, you could
controversial, I know, but
it can be a controversial thing. But the thing is, mate, is he hasn't been in any way, shape, or form in great form. Do you know what I mean? He had a moment, I think, earlier in the season where he kind of looked at, but like people said, he's with a ball at his feet, he's good, but taking players on and that end thing, he's kind of, there seems to be something just slightly missing at this moment in time with him. So, look, I wouldn't question it. If I was going to go that way, I still think, obviously, again, throwing Darwin in, he may not, thinking on Arteta's level, could again be an impact.
He won't, mate. He won't.
For me, I would not. I've been going on about it. Sorry, dude, talking over. I apologise, mate.
Go on, mate.
But I've been going on about it. I haven't done it today because spoiler alert. But if he had to, I would say if you're going to go and he's going to. I don't. He will not drop Saka, Tone. But I think you have to be in this team on merit, and that's where you're coming from. And I agree with you. Noni, if you're going to do anything, and for that game, put Noni on the right, Ez on the left, put Havertz behind Gyökeres, get goals in that first half, open this Bayer Leverkusen team up, and see from there, and then you can get your Dalmans on, and then you can sort of like maybe take an Ezra off for Saka or whatever. But he won't do that, Tone. But Dalman needs to be in and around the team, and yeah, there's an FA Cup game, isn't there? We're away against Southampton. He's got to start that. But I think this kid can be your impact at this moment in time. If he surprises us, Tone, so be it. Fair enough. I wouldn't be. You wouldn't be like, wow. Do you know what I mean? But as you said, if he's good enough, you're old enough, and this kid, he has got something, and he's he literally just took 2 Everton players out of the game and said, "This is mine." And
yeah, unreal.
What it's one people are saying. Listen, it wasn't. But it's what he done up to it. People are saying, "Oh, he's running to an open goal." But what he did to get
Garner on his arse. James Garner
he did to get there, was what was the thing. And you're seeing a 16-year-old kiddie who's set the issue, set the problem with Pickford, totally took Pickford out of the game. And this is England's #1 goalkeeper. He's not read the cross. It's bent in, and the ball's ended up at Gyökeres's feet, where you want your striker to be, and it's 1-0. He's done it, and he calls that Tone. So he's got to be in and around the conversation. I would imagine. Do I pull a surprise off against Leverkusen on Tuesday? Because maybe he might go for Saka for the final, dude.
Yeah. Either way, I want, if it's 0-0 and it's 60 minutes, I'm throwing Dalman on. I'm sorry. I think the guys earned the right to get more. I think, to be fair, he's been just as what's the word? He's been just as influential on games than Madueke at this moment in time.
Yeah, I mean, as well. That's the thing. What I tried to allude to on Saturday, and it wasn't trying to be harsh to any player. I was kind of saying about Eza and Saka and whatnot, and guys, and to an extent, Noni, and even say for Havertz, for argument's sake. But again, he's just come back. So my leniency level with Havertz is still going to be: is this guy going to be fit enough to keep playing games? I mean, I don't think he'll start Havertz again, because I think this game he'll be like, look, he started on Saturday. He won't want to start him twice in a week. I think he might start him in the final, whether that be for Gyökeres up front, I don't know. But this 16-year-old kid, he walked on that pitch, Tone, and wanted it. He created havoc. He was there, and this is 16 years old. There's some players on there at 24, 26, 27, and this guy just come on and that played him in 15, 20 minutes when we needed him to unlock stubborn Everton side, So yeah, listen, mate, if he throws it, I'm not going to be surprised. I mean, listen, we World Cup, we're obviously doing it tomorrow. Whether you start it early, Tone, I've got a bit of a run with the kids, and once I get them back and settled, I'll be on with you. So let's see. I mean, we can talk privately. Obviously, you guys won't see, but we'll know the lineup by about 6:45, 7. So it could be an interesting one, Tone. Let's see what the bosses
my eyes will be glued to that, I think, to see what
I do look forward to finding out the team when it's match day. I do like that. And I like the fact it's an hour and 15. Some people say it should be a surprise, which at times it was when you didn't really have much information back in.
Oh, do you remember? Yeah, do you remember when was it Sky?
I think it's on Teletext. I suppose it would have been on Teletext when you did have Sky Sports. I do apologise, guys. You do have Sky Sports, but I didn't have Sky Sports for a lot of time, because of the price of the package. So I had to go onto Teletext to see the Arsenal lineup. So, I like it, Tone, because I click on it, and that's all I want to do. I'm excited for the game, so I want to find out who's playing. So I'm not one person who's going to complain about it being an hour and 15 minutes before kickoff, because I want it to go now. You know what I mean? As much as 5:45 was a bit of a pain. You want football to come, quick as possible. So if you're going to look at 7:45, that's when you get your team news. Makes that game go, right, here you go, you get up for it. Or you start to go, oh, I wouldn't have played him. Do you know what I mean? But it creates that excitement or the trepidation or whatever you want to call it before the game. I'm all for that.
Do you know what? This isn't an easy game tomorrow, because, Leverkusen, a really good result against Bayern Munich over the weekend. They drew 1-1.
Yeah.
And they should have won that game as well, from what I've been reading.
Bayern went down to 9 minutes time, but what I've been reading, mate, as well.
So and they're playing good football. I think we underestimated them when we went away to them in the first leg.
I'd have to agree with that, mate. A lot of people were talking again about like with Gyökeres, and I don't think it wasn't the fact that he was shit at all. Really, I just think the team just were not functioning for whatever reason. I mean, it was really was a dour game. And obviously we got lucky to level the tie, so we've literally gone there. There's no away goal, so that away goal won't matter at one jot. So we can't hold on to a 0-0 tone and go through on away goals. So we've kind of just cancelled out the tie when we didn't deserve to. But we've been given a second chance because whether you agree with the penalty decision, we know we've admitted and we've said, and we will continue to admit that we'll be fuming if the shoe was on the other foot. But there's slight contact when you slow it down, but it's a crazy one. But again, momentum. People are saying momentum where the player goes into nonny, but it's happened. It's 1-1 tone. The tie is level again as it started. We're getting it back to our game, our house. Sorry, 60, 70 minutes. Let's put this game to rest so that there's some players that you can just put them on the back burner and rest them up for that Sunday, Tone. Get the job done, but it's not going to be easy, mate. And this is the problem I'm worried about.
It's it's going to be a tough week, mate. It's going to be a tough week.
Look at it this way as well, Tone. Right? Again, with this and tough aspects of what. So we got City, yeah. Put it over and saying the City are taking Real Madrid back to theirs, yeah. As much as they may want to fight for it, if Real Madrid get a goal and Man City score 2 or 3, that they'll still be out, yeah. If we don't turn Leverkusen over in 90 minutes, we got to go to extra time. Man City might not go to extra time. So it might be a 90-minute game. See you later, and they could be fresher. I mean, are they playing? They're playing Tuesday tomorrow as well, don't they?
I believe so. Yes, I think they are.
Yeah, because as not to bore anyone watching it, I was confused. And we was gonna do the preview tomorrow, but Tony duly reminded me that the game is on tomorrow. I thought it was Wednesday. So yeah,
I wonder what's going on.
Apologise for my lack of knowledge for tomorrow. But yeah, he caught me by surprise again because football's coming thick and fast this time of year.
Yeah, City are playing tomorrow, mate, as well.
Yeah. So this is obviously there's no advantage. But what I mean by that is that if we both go and Real Madrid were quality, they're 3 goals up. But if Real Madrid get a goal or whatever, and City don't quite get it. But you know what I'm saying? Like, we have to do our job, John. That's the main thing.
And with that as well, Wayne, the Sporting Lisbon and Bodo Glimt are 3-0 up, by the way. They kick off at 5:45, so we'll know who we're playing in the quarters. If obviously got to get through Leverkusen first, but before we even kick off, we'll know who we're going to be playing.
Yeah.
In the next round. So big games, but we've got to start. We've got to start playing football. I think with Everton, we scraped through that game. I was watching that, and I'm like, again, we couldn't string a pass together. And the fact that Timber's out for this game is a little bit worrying because
is Timber out?
He's been confirmed as out, mate. He's ruled out.
Jesus. Well, you'll have to change my. I apologise, guys. Please ignore starting 11. You'll have to.
So he hasn't trained, so we have to adjust that, mate. So I reckon Mascara will probably go in there.
I don't think White will start again because I don't think he trusts his fitness. So I think that'd be Mascara at right back then.
Well, while we're talking about teams, let's get on to your starting 11.
Go on in, mate. You just please take out Timber, though, guys, and ignore it.
Cool. The first week, I think I've not seen you put Eze on the left.
What it is, Tone. This is reverse psychology now. Now we both know. I mean, it'd be absolutely fantastic, if they had if Arteta had someone going around on social media looking at stuff like ours. But we're a little channel. We know he's not doing that. But I'm trying a bit of reverse psychology. Whoever's watching, I'm putting Eze in the 10, and he might put him on the left tomorrow.
Do you know what, Wayne? I was actually really impressed with Arteta on Saturday for what he did. He took Zubi off. Put Rice back in the 6, dropped Eze back into the 8, and we looked great. We look fantastic.
Tone, do you want me to say something to? And again, I apologise for interrupting. I'm going to pass the faults to you now. But I would not be adverse if he went Rice as a 6, and in certain games, whether he feels this could be one, I don't know. Excuse me, guys. That he has Eze and Havertz in the left 8 and the right 8
Yeah,
behind Gyökeres, and have 6 as your lone, have Rice as your lone 6. I apologise. Let me get some water. Tone. Go on.
that's what we pretty much done in the last sort of 20 minutes of that
In the
Everton
last 20 minutes, he did. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, we was more fluid. We was moving
Excuse
the ball. Everton was set up really well.
Yeah.
Excuse me. They were set up really well. Hard to break them down. But as soon as he changed that system and put on another ball playing midfielder who was moving the ball quicker, Everton were a little bit at sea. And the fact that he'd done that early was good, because if he would have kept it the same formation, doing like for like subs, I think we would have drew that 0-0, or Everton might have nicked it. Because he done that, he changed it up. But I think that don't always go with the same system. You don't always have to play Zubi and Rice in there.
Excuse me. Yeah, you
Rice
don't do.
6. I think Zubi's knackered as well. Maybe save Zubi for the final. We're gonna be up against a world-class midfield.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm not saying no disrespect to Leverkusen. That's going to be a tough tie tomorrow, but I do think that we've got the squad to make a few adjustments for this game and still have fresh legs for Sunday.
What you could do with this game, Tone, is excuse me, and I apologise, guys. It's going to the Emirates as always sets me off. It's always worth the aggro, but I'm got a little bit stuffing, a little bit of cough, but I apologise. What you could do as well is obviously you've got to start Rice at the 6 tone, and if it's working out, then you can swap out a Zubi, or if you feel like it, a Norgard, put Zubi on to maybe shore it up, to save Rice for Sunday, because what that will give you is, if you're going to go with width, you could go with Martinelli, by the way, guys. But again, I personally think he's an impact player. You could go over Noni, Saka, Havertz and Eze in the left 8 and right, whatever you want to play him as. I'd put Eze as a left 8, Rice sitting, have that for 60, 70 minutes, see how Rice is doing. I mean, because the thing is with Rice is he's got a phenomenal engine. But, this guy he's going to get run into the ground for England. I mean, I'm hoping, obviously, when he goes to England, Tuchel will put on sort of like give Walton a go and Anderson.
You're hoping that Rice at the end of the phone going, guys, come on, we're in the midst of our season now. It's a business end. You don't got to play Rice for a whole game. Even Saka.
It's so annoying, Tone. It's so can't you wait till May? Like, can you not have well, I know it's the World Cup, guys, but it's just so annoying. It's in the middle of you're in the middle of the season. You come into the business end of the season, and you start of April, you have an epoxy international break, and it's just so annoying, mate. Personally, it's like, are these friendlies, or I mean, I don't pay attention to it, mate. Is it friendlies or they qualify?
I think they are friendlies, mate. The qualifiers are done, aren't they? I think it's friendlies. Yeah. It's that tournament they do as well, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, is it the Cup of the Nations?
Yeah, Nation. I think it's the Nations.
Nations League.
I don't really. I mean, I only enjoy watching the World Cups and stuff. I don't really follow.
No, but for me,
UEFA Nations League, mate, is.
Yeah, it's just glorified friendlies for UEFA to
money
flog the players and get the money. But that's the worry as well, because he's obviously a starter for England. It's a question, like players like say Saka. Saka's not in great form. I mean, look, let's hope he turns up for the final, because I mean, if we scrape through against Leverkusen, I want Bukayo Saka to fire in that final. Him and Eze could be vitally important, but they had as a Jasper kind of said, he said, it's just half the season has gone, but he does kind of pick up. He's formed to the back end of the year, so it's vitally important that you keep Eze playing now. You can't drop him out of the team. Another person that obviously, again, the club. I don't know if they have Tone, and again, I haven't caught any anything with Arteta. I was going to say Wenger. Then it was Wenger for 22 years for me. Arteta has said anything about sort of Ødegaard and when we're expecting him back, because
he was asked in these press conferences I watched earlier.
Yeah, thank you, mate. Go on, because it's been one of a tiring day. But thank you, mate. Go on.
Right. Anyway, any update on Ødegaard? Is he still got a knee injury and he's not been training, so he's not a training session yet. He said he's being assessed by doctors. He's getting updated, but I think Ødegaard. I think it'd be a pretty April time at some point.
You know, we need him for we're going to need him for certain aspects of
I
it. But
think
I
if
think
we had Marino, Wayne, I don't think we would miss Odegaard as much. But because we
I
haven't got that outlet of a footballer,
that's what one or the other in terms of how we play. I agree with that, and I think like Moreno, you see is one I'd love Moreno, and I thought as much frustrating as it would be, you'd want Moreno to play in that final, the League Cup final at some point, or to be part of that squad. I mean, I think he's going to be late April anyway as well, which is obviously a big sort of like a big loss. But this is where as well again you have to go back to the signing of Norgard and what you've used him for when and I think what we've just said with Man City, you might want to be a bit more compact in the middle, but if there's opportunities, Tone, and you're flogging them like horses, like Subi and Rice, change them over in the six, if you like, just get them as a six, as a lone six, and have that system. If you got Havertz fit and Eza, there, there's your thing. That's what you need to do at times, Tone, to rest your players, because it's you plan them and plan them and plan them. We haven't got a Moreno to change. You ain't got an Erdegaard now. You don't trust Norgard. And so these two are, and Supermendy's never played with this amount of minutes at this time of the year, Tone. He's not played. He's never played it in his career.
I don't get why you don't. I don't get why you don't trust Norgard, Wayne. I don't get it. Every time the guy has come on, he hasn't done anything wrong. I don't understand why he's not trusted. I get the old legs, maybe. I get that. I do get that. But at the same time, then you're playing next to Rice, who's going to cover any ground that he doesn't cover. The one thing that Norgard does give you is that maturity on the ball. Right, you're around a lot of youngsters, right? We forget how young Gabs is and Saliba. They're still in their young 20s, right? They're youngsters. They're experienced youngsters, but they're still none of them players understand what winning the trophy is. We're very, very close, right? Norgard hasn't won the trophies either, by the way, before anyone tells me that. But the experience that he's got, and every time I've seen him play, he sort of calms things down a little bit. Like if you watch him, any game he's played where he's been under a little bit of pressure, if you watch his body language, it's very, very like leadership mentality. So, and I think in certain games we need that. If Supermendy hasn't been great the last 5 games for me, I think he's been a bit sloppy, right? Very good player as well, with nothing against him. I think he's in the red zone. He's knackered, right?
Yeah.
Started against Everton, in my opinion. He should start tomorrow, right? If you've got a big final coming up, I think start Norgard tomorrow and sit him in front of the back four. Let Rice dictate the 8 role.
Let Rice dictate that 8 role. Let get that job done, and then you can take Rice off for Zubi. Give Zubi the 30 minutes, and if he wants to set up his usual system on Sunday, but you're right, Tone. You either play one as a 6 tomorrow, or you play Norgard in there, because I think just for me, I think they need to have a rest, and Zubi. The thing is with players, it's the same with Saka, Tone. I mean, when you're playing and playing and playing, we would be the same. We love football, whatever skill set. You were much better than me, but I used to love playing football. Whether I was good at it or not, I'd love playing football. So as a professional footballer, you want to play football all the time. And Saka was doing it to himself, where when everyone was going, oh, he's gone down again. The guy was generally carrying knocks and niggles, and he'd be back fully. You'd think, oh, he's done again. Only until he actually finally pinged it after, how many times he'd done it. But he kept on playing, Tony. You think, God, that's nasty.
Yeah, but I think that's a bit of both.
Players want to play. Well, players want to play, but they have to be protected from the red zone, and he is one that has to be as well.
Let's put it this way: he was running to the ground. Saka, the last couple of years, he's been running to the ground.
Saka was because you had no quality on their Tone, did you? This is why now with Noni, Dalman's going to give him an issue, and I think next year as well, some things have to be said in terms of what you're going to do in the 10, how you're going to develop Wanyeri, because I think as much as he has dropped off, he's still a young lad who's learning the game at the top level. Dalman's seems to me like a freak of nature. But how you interpret that is where we learn the money next year. He
must be on cloud 9. He's being compared to Messi.
Yeah, which is strong because
I think we need to calm down a little bit. I mean, I don't really.
Yeah, sometimes I think what they're saying is, I mean, you don't get a lot of players. I mean, I thought Wanyeri was good. But then I started to think that it was his ability he was getting shoved off the ball a bit too much. I think what it is with Dalman is he
He just
seems to be
glides past people, doesn't
he
he?
glides past people. So how would it be when he's do you have to protect him a little bit as well, because is he going to be taking a few things? Because you're target number one. In Spain, they they weren't they're not as aggressive as English people. I mean, Darwin got injured playing against Man United reserves time. Not well under 21s. But that's where he got his 3-month ankle injury, where he's just come back. So he got for a bit of a tasty challenge, which was there's no need for. But when you're that kind of player, in the Sunday league, you've got an old school centre half, 35, 36. He's been playing the Sunday league since he was 16 years old. Some fresh lad on the wing, some fresh lads giving it large. He's going to want to clear you right out. You used to have it, Tone, because they were like this. You used to take people on and people want to clear you out. So and I was on the pitch thinking, well, am I going to want to knock you out, mate? Because you've just cleared me cousin out. Do you know what I mean? It was just football, but this is the mentality don't change. So you will get players that will do it. So you've got to protect him in a sense, but also can you hold him back? Because can he reach? So Lamine Yamal, he's a phenomenal talent. And he come out of this. Erling Haaland was the same. He was quite young when people saying this guy's tasty, and this everyone's been saying from youth level that this Dalman is good. They're also now saying, Tone, there's a 14-year-old kiddie in a youth academy who's another one who's they reckon could be Dalman, because Dalman was getting recognised at 13, 14, Tone. And this kiddie was competing with kids 3-4 years older than him at the age of 13, 14. He's tracked in his team at 16. That's he's fast tracked in. He's ready to go. So let's kind of see where that goes and takes you. But what I've gone on a tangent is that Saka was running to the ground. I don't think there's any chance there anymore in anything. In all due respect, because this isn't a Saka bashing channel, and we will never bash Saka. We will support all of the players. We'll call them out if they play bad, which I don't think he's been playing. He's not been in great form. But you could look at a player there, Tone, and go, is his position under threat? Has Noni done enough? Noni hasn't done enough to displace Saka.
Noni hasn't. I'd fire him in more. I would fire him in more.
But Dalman could be your, look, we all loved, me and you especially, and I'm sure Gooner's watching as well, Theo Walcott. When he burst on the scene, you're thinking, who's this 16-year-old kiddie? He had pace to burn, I know obviously he didn't hit the heights, but he had moments in an Arsenal shirt. But you're waiting for that kind of explosion with another player, and this kiddie could be it, Ton. 1 year he's kind of stagnated. MLS as well, as I said as well on this stream, plenty of time. My faults where I think where that kid should play, but he ain't even getting a chance. Time you could play MLS alongside Rice, dude. You could give Supermendy a break if you didn't quite trust Norgard. He's not getting a look in either, dude. But it's a harsh system and it's a harsh thing with it. But that's one spot where Dalman could kind of go, listen, Bukayo, you're a hero, you're the face of the project. But I think I can take your place here. I mean, who's to say who can stop the kiddie if you keep playing him and he's doing stuff like he did against Everton? He's got something special.
Yeah, he's given Arteta something to think about. Surely,
of course he has, mate.
He took a chance and he didn't follow. Come on, and he was dangerous. Every time he got the ball, was dangerous.
If there's a stark difference as well on that pitch time, watching him and watching Saka.
Yeah,
and what he was doing was what I would watch Saka and go, wow, and Saka now, for whatever, let's say if his body and mental or whatever, Saka's got to realise you've got a competition now, because the boss shouldn't be Mikel or the boss, what we're going to call him, sorry. But he's got an issue now where he goes, I love Bukayo, like we all do, but, potentially, I've got Noni and I've got Darwin now on the right, So watch this space, mate. Watch this space.
Yeah. Cool. Let's get your predicted score, mate. For tomorrow.
It's been very quiet, mate, on the old comments. So we'll wait till someone joins, but we'll look to shut it down. So I want so, and I think we're more than capable of it. And I know, and I mean, in all due respect to Leverkusen, I like the Knights under the lights. So I'm going 3-0 to the Arsenal.
3-0. Yeah. I'm going to go 3-1. I think Bayern will pretty put up a big fight. But I think if we can play expensive football, I think Everton hopefully give us a boost. That game should give us a boost.
So we do play. Other than that, you know what? I'm sorry again, but you'll agree. I've not seen that. It's the worst we played. We played 8 phenomenal games in the Champions League. That is the worst I've seen us play. And we played a more expansive football in the Champions League. So let's hope so, matey. Definitely. Let's hope for a surprise. You never know, Bones. You never know, mate.
Yeah, I'll be keeping a close eye on that starting 11. But yeah, guys, join us tomorrow for the watch along.
Yeah.
We'll probably be on about 20 to 8. Kick off at 8:15. Or was it 8 o'clock, Wayne? So
I think it's 8:15. 8 o'clock. Sorry. Come join us, guys. Grab a beer.
8 o'clock, mate. 8 o'clock.
Grab whatever you want to grab. if it be Coke, beer, whatever you prefer. I'm hoping it's not a night where you're going to need a few more beers because it's a bit nervous. But whatever your drink is, whatever it is, come join us. You know, you don't have to listen to TNT. Come listen to us, and we'll talk you through the game, highs and lows. Hopefully, loads of highs. But yeah, come join the Gooner Booth, guys. We appreciate it.
Cool. There's not been many on tonight. It's been very quiet. We're going to call it there. If you are tuning in later on, good evening. Thank you for tuning into the channel and the podcast. Please smash that like button. Please subscribe, and we'll see you tomorrow evening.
Take care. All the best, guys.
Take care.